This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in today's session, we'll talk about how to ingest data from on-premise file system to ADLS Gen2 storage. Okay, how to ingest data from on-premise file system to ADLS Gen2 storage. We will discuss what is on-premise file system. So some people will call it as a shared location. Some people will call it as a file system. So file system means this is an on-premise. This is not a Azure storage. It's not a Azure storage like Blob or ADLS Gen2. This is on-premise storage system. How we will create on-premise file system and all, I'll tell you. So in my project, as I mentioned, it's a financial domain. What they are doing is they have a SQL server. From SQL Server, they are taking PII data. As we discussed just now, PII means personal identity information. We can able to create the masking, all those things on top of it. Like as I mentioned, if it is account number, last 4 digits we will keep as is. If it is a phone number, we will keep last 2 digits as it is. Now, in this, after doing all that masking, this data they are going to load it as a CSV files into Azure VM. Okay, so CSV files they are going to move it into the Azure VM. So what we need to do from the Azure VM, we need to bring the CSV files into data lake storage Gen2. So whatever files, wherever we are storing these files in the Azure VM, that particular part is called a file system. How you can say it's a file system, I'll tell you. Okay, so first let's talk about what are the required resources. We need a SQL on-premise on-premise file system. File system we need. It's on-premise. Okay, on-premise file system. ADLS Gen2 storage. Third one is ADF. So on-premise file system means, as I just mentioned, so client team is going to load the CSV files into the virtual machine. In virtual machine, where they are going to exactly move these files, I'll show you now. So I already just created the SQL server. Okay, so how to create the SQL server? Same steps I followed. So if you want, I can just show you. Okay, just click create virtual machine. Okay, select the resource group name and then give the virtual mission name. Virtual mission name is, I'll just give Cloud Pandit VM2, and you select some resource group. Okay, east to west standard. Here see all images. In all images, so as Jamal mentioned, so free trial is working for the 2022 versions. So 2022 means this one. You take this, okay, see free SQL Server license is available. Just to select this, so it will work for you. Okay, it will work for you. Then you can just choose this, then enter username, password, enter password for this as well. Okay, 12-digit password you enter, then click on SQL Server settings. In SQL Server settings, enable SQL authentication. Here you just put your another username, change it to make sure the SQL Server credential and your Azure Virtual Machine credentials both are different. That's why I'm just changed. Otherwise, you can keep same. Then click review plus create. So validation passed, you can just create it. Okay, that's how I just created. Okay, I already created the virtual machine. That's what I'm showing you. So you can see virtual machine is already available for me. Okay, now the second resource that I need is ADLS Gen2 storage. Okay, go to ADLS Gen2 storage. I'm very sorry. Create storage account. So I'm just using pay as you go. You can see that. One more thing is I created a under Cloud Pandit -RG. Storage account name is Cloud Pandit ADLS Gen2. Okay, Okay. So enable the hierarchical namespace. Click review plus create. Click create again. Next, come here. Go to data factory. Create data factory as well. This is Cloud Pandit PDF V2. Zero 0407. Git configuration, configure it later. Click review plus create. Create it. Okay. So Azure Virtual Machine created, ADL Gen2 is created, ADF is created. In Virtual Machine, how to connect to the Virtual Machine? Come here. Okay. Here you open remote desktop connection. Here you copy this public IP. Here you can see on overview public IP. Copy this, put that here, click connect. So enter username and password. Very carefully you need to remember the Azure Virtual Machine credentials and SQL Server credentials which we have set when we are creating the virtual machine. Okay. So just leave that particular Azure virtual machine just like that for a minute. So it takes a lot of time to refresh everything. Just at least leave for 1 minute so that your system will not get stuck. Everything will be refreshed. Last time also I showed you what we need to do. The first step that we need to do here is go to local server, turn off the enhanced security configuration, because if you enable this, it will throw pop-ups. A lot of pop-ups will come, so we cannot work here. So that's why for now you just click on and off this one. Turn off this enhanced security. Now, what is file system? Go to this. So this PC, you can just go any drive. Let's say I am going into the C drive. The C drive, I did not remember in our case where they have just loaded. I think in C drive only. These other drives we will have access or not. So that's why what you will do, just click new, click folder. Here create a global folder. Because this virtual machine we are not using for installing anything else. Okay. So under global, we are going to create a subfolders like first folder. Then we are going to create a EMP folder. Then we are going to create a transaction folder. Okay, something like this. Okay, 3 folders I created. Now I want to upload some data in it. Okay, how to upload data in it? Let me just move on to here. Comma separated. Just to go here. So first thing is employee data. You can just take it. Employee 1, employee 2. And similarly, you take cost data as well. Cost 4, cost 5. Then transactional data. You can just see for transactional data, you take result 1, result 2. Total 6 files. I'm just copying into the virtual machine. You just copy. Outside, I'm copying. Okay, all the files. Okay, now I'll just move the cost files. I'll just move it into this. cust4.csv, cust5.csv, move to cust folder, employee 1.csv, employee 2.csv, move to employee. So result 1.csv, result 2.csv, move to the transaction. Okay, now you go to cust folder and see, do we have CSV files? emp folder, yes, employee.csv. Transaction, yes, transaction, result 1.csv. Like this I have. So in my business, like in my project, we have 128 folders. Okay, now you know how to copy multiple multiple folders from one storage to another storage. Similarly, here also under global, I have a multiple folders. I just have to copy all this folders data from Azure Virtual Machine to the data lake store Gen2. Clear? Everybody is clear on this? Everybody is clear till here?
Yes, sir.
So what we need to move the multiple folders from Azure Virtual Machine to the data lake store Gen2, what we need? What we need? So self-hosted IR we need. So let's establish the connection. First we will create the self-hosted IR. Okay? I'm just opening the Azure Data Factory. Tomorrow I'll show you high availability of the Azure self-hosted integration. High availability of self-hosted integration. Now come to author tab. Now come to create a go to manage. Let's create two linked services. Okay. So to create a linked service, what we need? Integration runtime. Let's create an integration runtime. Click new. Azure or self-hosted. We need a self-hosted. So this is what linked integration runtime. Self-hosted media. Okay. Click create. So there are two keys. So download and install integration runtime manually. Click on this. It will give you some path. Copy this path. Okay. Go to virtual machine. Open your integration. Internet Explorer. Okay. Paste that URL which you copied here to download the self-hosted IR. See, you don't need to copy paste. Just I'm showing you easy way. Otherwise, you need to just get it here by searching download self-hosted integration. Just download this. So latest version. This is the latest version. Click next. Hello once. Run. Once the download is finished, it is going to install. 1.1 GB of data. It will just download within a 30 seconds. See, it's almost finished. Running security scan. Preparing to install. Next. No, I'm created the new VM, so that's why I'm installing. Otherwise, instead of installing, you can also change the configuration. In configuration, you need to change the key, but that is not recommended. Always uninstall and install, because it will have latest version and it will have all the updates. So there you will not get any errors. Instead of simply going and updating the configuration file, sometimes it will not work. Okay, so it is basically installing. Now we come here. what you can do is come here, you need to take one of this key and you need to register with that self-hosted air. Copy this, close this. Now you refresh, nothing will happen. It will be still unavailable only until you configure this key there. Okay, so what is the next step? Once we created the linked services, what is the next step? What we need to move multiple folders from file system to ADLS Gen2?
We'll create mapping configuration in database.
Correct, okay. So we need to create a mapping file now. That is nothing but a like metadata details. Okay, click finish this one. And I just copied the key and just pasting it here. Okay. So click register, click finish. Refresh this. It's unavailable because still it is running. Still it is registering there. Okay. Click launch configuration manager. So self-hosted node is connected to the cloud services. Now you close this. Then now you go here, refresh this. The self-hosted IR is also running. Now come to linked service, click new linked service. So how to connect to the virtual machine is, so last time we connected to the on-premise server using the SQL server because that time we want to connect to SQL server. But now today I want to connect to the file system. Just to select file system. So ls for file system, come down. See here you need to give your folder name. C:/global. You remember we have a container called global here. You see the main folder is a global. Okay, so if you want to take this, so this is the one, copy this entire thing. Okay, you paste that here. Then you need to enter the virtual machine username and password. I'm just entering the virtual machine username and password. So password for the virtual machine is
Malaya,
what will
can't we
happen?
take
Just
okay.
tell me.
Here in the host name, we can't we take it dynamically from the VM?
First name, which first name?
Host name. Host you are given a C colon
If you want
slash
to take
global.
it, you can take it. If you want to take it, you can take it dynamically. But this is a common folder. That's why I'm just putting here. The cust EMP, those are different folders that I will pass it dynamically. But this one I am just hard coding because this is a common root folder. So see, this is failing because we are not using the not enabled on Azure integration runtime. Okay, so that's why what we need is we need to use the self-hosted IR test connection. So connection is successfully completed. Clear. So I am just choosing global because if by mistake the IR was deleted, how can we create again this? How we can able to create? We just have to create again. Again, we need to create a new IR, and when you create a new IR, what happens? It will generate a new key. So that new key you need to register. So whenever you are registering new key, what I'm suggesting is don't try to update the configuration file. Try to uninstall IR and reinstall the IR. Okay, Pandra, clear? Yes. See, because this will not happen, but for your question, I'm answering. Whenever that happens, try to uninstall and install. Because I have tried all those things that will give you a lot of headache for us. Configuration file you will change, a lot of places you need to change, and it will again throw error. To avoid all those things, this is the best one. Okay, have to pay as you go. I have only one pay as you go edition, two pay as you go subscription FP. Storage account is the one. Test connection successfully completed. Okay. So two linked services I have created. I also will create a linked service for my SQL server. So where is your SQL server? You just open SSN. Why I am using this SQL server? But basically you can store your details wherever you have databases available. But in real time, in my project, if you consider, we are not using on-premise SQL server, we are not using Azure SQL server, Azure SQL database. We are using the Azure Synapse. So we created all our metadata tables in the Azure Synapse, similar to whatever we do here. Like we will create a tables and store procedures, right? Same, we have done it in the Azure Synapse. You can do same in the Azure Synapse. That's what I'm saying. In your project, whatever database you use, in that database, you need to create metadata tables and all those things. Clear?
In Gen2 also we could have stored the file, right? Metadata file.
You can store, that's what I said, metadata files we never use. That was just for your understanding. Earlier I used, but basically we use it in a table. We will put it in a table. Okay.
Okay.
So status columns, restart mechanism, updating statuses from stored process, all those things we need to do for the metadata tables. Those you cannot do. Example, particular row is inactive, so you need to update it as inactive. Simply go and do it. Or let's say table is not available from stored process, you direct do it. But if it is a file, you can't do it from the program, like from the pipeline, right? That's the thing. SSMS is available. So this is our server name. Okay, so Windows authentication you can use, or SQL Server authentication. Windows authentication means as you are connecting to this SQL Server from VM, it will use the VM credentials. Yes, using VM credentials also you can connect, or SQL Server credentials. If you remember SQL Server, I changed the username as Cloud Pandit, but password I just kept as this cloud at the return. Right click on this. So if you look at the databases, you will not have any database. Let's create a new database for new database. Or you want to do it through the query, you can do it through the query as well. Let's say create database sample DB. You can just create it. Okay, so DB is created, right click and refresh this. So DB is get. So but which DB it is using to create tables and all master. You can change this table from master to sample DB, which we just created. Under sample DB, do you have any tables? You don't have any table. Okay, let's create a metadata table. Create table metadata. Okay, source folder varchar 50, sync folder varchar 50. Okay, and if you want to update the status and all, you can put is active equal to, you can put int. a status, you can just put it as a varchar, something like this. Okay. Now let's insert the metadata. Insert into metadata values of EMP. Output side EMP out. Is active flag is 1. Status is ready. Then this is a EMP and cust trans out trans out. 1 ready. Next one is 1 second. Make sure the tables everything is correct. Okay. Trans EMP and cust, that's correct. Okay. Now finally we have some kind of a orders, but this I'll mark it as inactive 0. Okay. So that's why I'm just creating the metadata table and inserting few records in it. Fine. Now come here. Now we need a connection for what? SQL Server as well to read metadata, isn't it? So establish the SQL Server connection as well. LS for SQL Server. So we must use the self-hosted AR, as you know. Server name is what? Server name. If you don't know, just click on this, click database engine, it will tell you use the server name. Copy that server name. Put that server name here. What is the database name? Sample DB we created. What is the username? So username is SQL authentication. If it is a Windows authentication, it's a different one. So if it is a SQL authentication, it's a different one. Cloud Pandit. So password I'm just entering. Test connection successful, you can create it. Okay. Now remaining everything else you know already. Come to author tab, create a pipeline. First use the lookup activity. First use the lookup activity to read metadata. We have more than one row, uncheck this. Click new SQL Server. Select this. Sorry, sir. So DS. Use the SQL Server connection. Don't select table, click OK. So instead of table, we need to find a query. What the query? Select start from metadata where is active equal to 1 and status is not equal to succeeded. Status should be ready or failed, but status should not be succeeded, and flag should be active equal to 1. Then only I need to get such type of records. Now just to preview data. So 3 rows we are getting, yes, this is what we are expecting. But these 3 rows, if you want to convert into items, just to debug, it will show you the items format. Okay, so it got succeeded. 1 second. Just click on this. So these are the items. Okay. Item count is 3. There are 3 items, 1, 2, and 3. What we will do, I'll just take these 3 items and count, put it in the notepad somewhere. Next, for each activity. You know, right? You want to go as a sequential, go as a sequential. If you want to go it as a parallel, you can go as a parallel. So go inside for each. Now, we need is a get metadata activity again to check whether source folder is available or not. Okay. So click new. It's a file system. Source is file system. CSV files we have. So BS4 file system generic. Okay. So I need to pass the subcontainer names dynamically one by one. Okay. First is header. Select OK. How to pass those names one by one? Container names, how to pass one by one to? How we can pass to this data set? Go to this data set, go to parameters. You create a data set parameter, ds param for folder name. Where we need to pass that folder name? Here under global, you need to pass this folder. How to pass the value to this parameter? Item dot item dot what? Source folder. Okay. So what you want to do with get metadata activity? I want to check whether folder is existed or not. Checks. Exists. Yes. Now after get metadata activity, what activity we need to use? If condition. If get metadata exists. So exist. If this condition is true, means folder is existed. You can go to the true and you can use what? Copy activity. What copy activity will do? So same generic data set you can use, which you have created for the get metadata. You need to pass the folder name. How to pass the folder name? Item dot same item dot source folder. Only the difference is here we need is wildcard file path to pick all the files that are there in the folder. We need to pick all the files that we have in under that particular subfolder. Let's say first, if I get a cust folder already existed, condition is true. In that you will come to the true activities. We will have a copy activity. Here from the same cust folder, you are reading all the files that you have under cust folder and copying into the sync. Okay, let's copy into the sync. Sync is what? ADLS Gen2 CSV. Click continue. It's a global. Under that, I want to create a subfolder. Okay, from here. If global is not available, you can't do it. Click. Now, what I want to do, come to sync. If you remember, when we talked about project introduction, we talked about the folder structure. The folder structure is under global, we will have a country folder. Under country folder, we will have the landing folder. Okay, under landing folder, we will have the subfolders. If it is a cust out. If it is EMP out will be there. So that's why this is the first thing we need to do. Next thing is we need to get that particular thing from the parameter. Okay, let me tell you how to get the parameter name to here, like the output folder name to here is create a parameter ts param4 subfolder connection. You can just click add directory. You can just select this. If you select this, only emp out under global directly emp out will create. No, I don't want like that. First I need to make sure I have a India / landing. Under landing I need to put this parameter. Got it? So I need to put this parameter. Under this parameter, so this parameter will be what? Cust out, emp out, and so on. It will give you. Let's say if it is giving cust out, under the cust out again what I need a year, month, day, right? So that's a format date. So select a format date. Under that I need to generate a UTC now. Okay, so UTC now how it has to generate is it has to generate first year, under that month, under that date. So this is case sensitive. Some people are using capital YY, capital MM, capital DD. No, it should be small YY, capital MM, small DD again. Okay. So now these three I need to concat. So we have a function called concat which can concatenate all these three. That's all. Okay, so India / landing. Under landing you will have a cust out. Under cust out you will have the year, month, day folder. Simple. So next for the emp out, India / landing / emp out, year, month, day folder will be created and load the entire data. Clear to all of you? Everybody is clear? So now very simple. That's all. Okay, we finished. Any questions? Anybody would like to see this expression one more time? You can see. I'll just put it in the notepad. You can see clearly here. Any doubts, let me know, okay? Can I go and run pipeline? Yes, I'm just going to, okay, come to pipeline one.
Yeah, we need to update the status.
No, status updates will come back. Oh, sorry. So we need to pass a sync parameter. That I'll just explain. So you already know you need to just use the stored procedure and you need to do. So I'll just explain those things also. What we need for each @item dot folder.
For condition also.
Yes.
Sir, for false condition we have not given, sir. For only true condition we have given. If condition.
False condition we are not doing anything. So because if the folder is existed, we are copying. If the folder is not existed, we are not running any copy activity. That's why in the false condition I'm not doing anything. Now get metadata is running. Get metadata returns.
Could you please show that notepad connection which we have created that string concatenate?
Okay, wait. So exist is returned true, and then if condition is true, copy activity is running. See, I told you. Anybody have any question? I pasted here. You did not ask. You wait. Once the pipeline is executed, then I'll show. So now go to ADL Gen2. Go to containers. Under that, see, global is created. Under that, India is created. Under that, landing is created. Under that, cust out is created. Oh shit. So there is small mistake happened in this.
Yes. I was expecting that one. One slash.
Slash. Here you can put the slash. Okay. So fine, I can rerun. So you can see here landing. Cust out will be there. Under cust out 2022 will be there. Under 2022 month 07 should be there. Under month day should be there. Under day file should come. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just delete everything again. Okay. I just deleted everything now. Think pipeline already succeeded. If you see, do we have any folders? No.
We should change the expression in the
So here you just put slash here, that's all. Okay. Come to pipeline 1 and debug this. Copy activity is running now from here. Refresh this. So global is created, under global India is created, under India landing is created, under that folder is created. Year, month, day is there, under that file scheme. Now again come to landing out, refresh this, we'll see for next. So cast out is there. Okay, under landing only cast out is there. Again year, month, day is there, and you are able to load the files in it. Everybody is getting how I am achieving all of this. Similar, okay, similarly when you are bringing data from tables to for storage, same structure you need to create. Okay, so that's all. Refresh this for the last folder, see transaction out. Under that you again will have year, month, day. So tomorrow when you are running, so what happened, 05 folder will be created automatically. On that folder you will have a today data. Okay, now so now what I need is, if you look at the source data, tomorrow data again will come and sit it into the same folder. So, but what you are doing is you are basically not like you have a today data, tomorrow data if it comes, this data will be there, tomorrow data will be there, everything will be copied. That's why once my copy is successful, I need to delete these files from the source folder. Okay, once the files are copied successfully in ADLS Gen2, I need to delete these files from the file system, on-premise file system. How you can able to delete these files? Now currently you see, after copy under cust you are able to see, under EMP you are able to see, under transaction you are able to see the data. Clear? Now what I'll do, sorry, just to see now what I'll do, I'll just delete again this global container. Okay, because I want to recreate again. See, you can keep it. Only thing is, you will not know whether it is copied again or not. Okay, that's it. Once it is copied successfully, I want to delete the files from the source. How I will do? On the true condition, on success of copy activity, I need to use a delete activity. Okay, on success of a copy activity, I need to use a delete activity to delete these files from the from where? From where? File system, generic file system. So from here, basically what I want is I need to pass the folder at the rate item dot source folder. What if item dot source folder means you are passing the source folder to it. So now you need to say logging settings. So do you want to keep the loggings? Logging means what folders created, what files got deleted, everything. If you want to see, you need to select the storage account name and the file path, so that in that particular storage account it will keep all the logs. But currently I don't want logs, I'm unchecking. Come to source. So here just select wildcard file path as start. Okay, clear? Everybody is clear? I'm just passing the container name to this particular data set. What happens in this container, sorry, in this data set, if I pass the folder name, C:/global/ the cust. So under cust, I have a files. I'm just selecting the files and to delete all of them. Now, just come to the source pipeline, just debug this. Now let's see what happens. get metadata, checking for the EMP folder first time. Let's go to the EMP and just keep waiting here. See, currently we have a files in it. Currently we have files in it. So once the copy data, so copy data is done, delete activity is running. Delete activity is also succeeded. Okay. So now you come here, check it. Do you see any files here under EMP? No. Okay, but folder is there, but do you see any files in the EMP folder? Do you see any files in it? Okay, now next we know cust will run. So cust is having the files, but now we'll see get metadata. So again, second delete also succeeded. That is for the cust. We'll see. See, cust also gone. Okay. Next transaction. So you just here, it will vanish immediately. Once the files are deleted, you will not be able to see. See, files got deleted. Files got deleted from the source container. Clear? Everybody is clear on this? How many of you got this? Same thing. See, whatever we have done, we already learned self-hosted integration on time, how to install. You already know how to establish the connection to it. You already know how to copy multiple folders from data lake storage Gen2 to data lake storage Gen2 or blob to data lake storage Gen2. That's why I said, whatever we are learning from cloud to cloud, once we learn the concept, doing things from on-premise to cloud is not a big deal. Only thing is connection. Connection will change, but remaining everything is same. Now, somebody asked how why we are not setting status. Yes, after delete activity or after copy activity itself, if you want to set it, okay, if the copy activity is succeeded, you just set the status as succeeded. The copy activity is failed, you want to set it as a failed, you can set it. How we can able to do? Simply using the status stored procedure. Okay, how to create stored procedure for that? Create a proc metadata underscore USP as begin. In here you can just use update metadata, set status equal to at the rate status where source folder equal to at the rate source folder. Again, it's simple. You need to create these two parameters. You just create these two parameters for this varchar 50 comma. This is also we need to put here varchar.
There is a spelling error in the source folder.
Source. Yeah, this parameter should be same as whatever we defined here. This is okay. We can change it as we have identified. If not, that will work. Okay.
That symbol missed.
At the rate is missing.
Execute this.
Even in the update, at the rate is not there, Malaya.
Again, it's a mistake. Correct. So what you will do? Drop execute this. You put here at the rate again in the repeat. Okay, clear now? Fine. So now how we can able to use this? Simple, right? Doesn't matter. So I'll show you something interesting today. See, stored procedure. I don't want to call stored procedure on success one stored procedure, failure one stored procedure. I'll just set like this. Okay. I'll just say on completion. Completion means copy activity is completed. Doesn't matter whether it is succeeded or failed. I want to call the stored procedure. Why I'm using a restored procedure? Because this is a generic SP. generic SP, USP, user defined stored procedure. The reason is status will go as a dynamic. Status will go as a dynamic, isn't it? Metadata, import parameters that we need. How we can able to pass this parameter? Source folder, how we can pass at the rate item dot, at the rate
Source
item
folder.
dot. Yes, at the rate item dot source folder. Okay, what about status? Copy activity. Okay. Copy data activity dot status. It will give you status. Clear. So this time stored procedure from where I am running? From this. Directly on copy data activity. If it is completed, it will run. We will see. Come here. See, the transaction folders are there, but files are not there. I need to copy those files again. Okay. Again, I'll just move this and this. These two files, I'll move it into the cust. This and this, I'll move it into the EMP. So this and this, I'll move it into tron. Okay. So now you see, cust is having files, EMP is having the files, trans is having the files. Okay. Got it? Yes. I'm just what I'm doing now. You come here. You just go back, click on debug. After copy activity, see generic USP is running and delete is running. So it doesn't matter whether it is failed or completed or success failed. Okay. So basically it will run and we will see metadata table. We will query the metadata table and we will see what we have in it. Execute this. Now you say status is succeeded for this. This is ready. And once this is also executed, the status will be updated for these two tables as well. See, status is succeeded for the cust as well, and so on. It will go. Clear? Everybody's clear? Any
Yes,
questions? Any questions in today's session? Yeah, somebody asked this expression. Yes, this is the. I'm just pinging this in the chat window. Yes. Next, any other questions, friends? Any question?
What is Azure file system? We saw during the link service. Like we selected file system. There was one option.
Azure file system is when you create a blob storage, you will get 4 options: queues, files, file storage, file system. 1 second. Which one you are talking about? This one. Azure file storage, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Azure file storage, when you create a blob storage, you will get a multiple options. Azure file storage, Azure queues, Azure file storage, containers. one more thing will be there. 4 things you'll get it. Okay. So one of these is Azure file storage. Here also you can able to create your file. Through the network shared drive, they will share the files into the file system, Azure file system. Okay, that is different. You create a blob storage, you'll get all those 4 options. Let me show you if you have any storage. See here, file services. I think this is the one I'm talking about, file services. I think this is the file services. This is what, let me see, file storage. If we don't have any file storage, that is nothing but this one only. You can see right here, file share. File storage means this one only. Here you see data lake storage, file storage. This is the file storage, queues and tables. 4 things you will get it. Queues, tables, file storage. File service means file storage, and this one, data lake storage. Okay.
Sir, in the pipeline, at the last you have given delete and store person, sir. Which one will execute first? That store person will execute
Both will
first.
execute. The copy activity is finished, immediately both will start, because there is no dependence between these two. These two are dependent on copy activity. If copy activity succeeded, delete will run. If copy activity succeeded or failed, doesn't matter, always store procedure will run. But this delete will run only on success, because here the relation is success, you see, success. But this relation is completion. Completion means status can be anything, but it is completion, completed. Okay, clear?
Okay. Yes.
Next. Any questions?
Yeah, Malay, one more question. In my ADF pipeline, suppose I create one activity, delete activity, and I want to delete a folder from a Gen2. So, if can I do any restriction, like only these many ADF can delete the files from that storage at this?
These many ADFs only delete.
These many pipelines which are running from that ADF can only delete the files on that storage. Can I manage those accesses on the storage level? Like only these many ADFs will have the access.
Okay. Only this ADF can able to delete, but other ADF cannot delete.
Yes.
Yeah, for ADF like Gen2, I think you can able to grant the conditions. Yes, you can able to put such type of controls. So then you select this, change access, not access level. Where is that one second? Access policies. Here you can just control. So when you are just giving the permission, right? Identifier. I think identifier means once your data pattern.
I think we may need to create a service principal and then give access to that service principal.
Yes, such kind of thing. Not service principal. Service principal is not correct. Service principal only here. Manage ACL. 1 second, let me show you. This is the correct one. So here add principal. Okay. So here you need to give your service principal. Example. So we created. I think I have not created any services. So if you have created any service principal, right, it will show that service principal here. You need to add that service principal here, and you need to grant which permissions you want to give. Okay, for that particular service principal. So you need to do that particular things here, not manage ACL. Okay, not policies. You need under manage ACL, you can able to control that. Next.
Hi, Malaya.
Service principal only is covered for CB28. For CB29, it will be covered in Databricks. We'll come to know what is service principal, how to establish connection between Databricks or data factory. So we're using service principal, how we can establish connection. Come to. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Krishna,
yeah. So, yeah. We are capturing the status of the activity using a story procedure. Can we capture like which activity has failed, the activity name?
which activity failed means only copy activity, right?
Yeah,
Other
the
activity,
copy
there is
activity
no
name.
chance of failing other activities. How other
Yeah,
activities will fail?
for example, I have the series of activities like copy 1, copy 2, copy 3. Thereafter, I am using the stored procedure to capture the status. In case copy 3 activities get failed, then only stored procedure will execute. Either it is success or a failure in copy activity 3 itself. In case copy activity 2 is getting failed, then how the stored procedure activity will enable?
So you need to put copy after copy activity, every copy activity you put stored procedure activity on failure only. You just have to put on failure only. So you just have to put on failure. Whether copy activity is failed or succeeded, it will pick. So you want status to be picked on success of copy activity 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that, or what do you want exactly?
Instead of writing for each activity, getting the status, can we write one activity for all?
How you can write it? Because if your second copy activity is failed, you need to pick the second copy activity details only, right?
Yeah,
So you need to maintain 8 different rows if you have 8 copy activities to make sure copy activity 1 is succeeded, copy activity 2 is succeeded, copy activity 3 is succeeded, copy activity 4 is succeeded, and so on. So the other case, what you can do is, let's say, doesn't matter which copy activity is succeeded or which is failed. So I want to just capture the failed copy activity if you want. So you take some set variable. In that case also you need to use some set variable. You collect the set variable value as a so after each copy activity you need to set the set variable activity to set, okay, this copy activity is failed. Wherever is failed, only that particular details you collect. Those details you can pass it to the stored procedure later, but that is waste again because unnecessarily you are using set variable. Instead of that, you can use stored procedure only after copy activity.
Okay. Thank you, Malaya.
Malaya, this is Chittaranjan. Malaya, I have one question. Like before running, shall I do the data validation? Like the folder is exist or not? In the folder inside has item exist or
Today
not?
you will
Like this.
validate. Today you are running. You will validate. In production, you cannot validate. That's why we need to put some kind of a validations within the pipeline logic.
Okay.
Exactly, Abhishek Sharma. After for each activity, we need to set the status again back to the ready. Clear? Any other questions? Okay. If no questions, then thank you all.